All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is game number 3 here for the quarterfinals of the American Dota League playoffs. We've got Typical Mistakes up 2-0 up against Denial Esports. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. My name is Malt. With me tonight is NY John. And John, we've seen some great games so far, but Denial, they're in danger of falling 2-0. How are you tonight, John?
I'm doing great, and I am so impressed by Typical Mistakes play. Both of these games now, they just look much stronger as a team than they have in the recent past. So the changes definitely working out for them. And Denial are in a spot they don't find themselves in all too often as of late, being down in a series by 2 games. I mean, they don't play best of 5s every day, but certainly an awkward position. They have to win a bunch of games back-to-back here, in fact 3 to just go out there and put it in the open. And that's going to be a really tall task considering how Typical Mistakes are playing. Typical Mistakes have a lot of wiggle room here. They can pick a little bit into maybe try and pull out an ace in their hole if they want, some kind of unique hero lineup that has worked for them in the past, and be free to maybe drop one of these games and not have to worry too much. So there's a lot riding on this game for Denial, not as much for Typical Mistakes. They can try and close this out hard, but they can also be a little bit clever.
But right now, I mean, Typical Mistakes, and they're going to their go-to heroes right now with the Lone Druid and the Jakiro as well. And we've seen it time and time again, at least for these 2 games, but Typical Mistakes with Sleazel at the helm on that carry, absolutely outstanding. However, we do see the Denial Gyrocopter and Ewo. Well, we know what he can do with it, so we'll have to see if they can turn this one around. They can get a win and potentially claw their way back into this series here. They are down 2-0, and right now with the Visage, with the Gyrocopter, this potentially could help them out. Definitely pick up a win here.
Yeah, it could definitely be what they need because, I mean, to be honest, we haven't seen the best carry play in either of the games, and Gyrocopter is Ewo's probably most noted hero. He has brought their team back from the brink of destruction many times. He's also just outright won games in 20-25 minutes with that hero as well. So he's very well versed with the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter is a hero that can definitely exert his control over the course of the mid-game stages and allow you to get smooth victory, cruise control to the win. But we'll see what Typical Mistakes' response is to it here. I mean, already having the Lone Druid, it's pretty good against Gyrocopter. You can kind of keep your space and maybe get some entangles. But so far, pretty stable opening for both teams in terms of their drafts.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is about as stable as it gets right now. But predictions, man. We got to get the predictions on the board. And for Typical Mistakes, I don't know, man. This is a tough draft to predict right now. I mean, with the bans coming out, Denial, they banned out the DK and the Magnus. Not sure about that Magnus ban there. Typical Mistakes, there's no Darkseer available this time around. Of course, Cakes has played that absolutely outstandingly, but he's got that Lone Druid, which he loves to play. And Nyx Assassin, maybe. That's what I'm saying for Typical Mistakes right now. That's my only really prediction so far. Maybe. And that's still, I don't know. I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, I would go for the Bane of the Shadow Demon. I'd still think we haven't seen the Bane come out in a couple of games. I'm not sure why. I've actually noticed this over the course of a couple of days. He is relying on the Fiend's Grip, but that against Gyrocopter is an amazing lockdown from long range. So I really do like that. And then, I mean, Denial, they could very well pick up the Prophet. They could pick up the Clockwork thereafter, both of which are still in the pool. But Typical Mistakes with the Lone Druid, it's a little bit more awkward for them to try and fit those heroes themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. But they do have 1 minute and 30 seconds left here on the reserve time right now. You mentioned Typical Mistakes playing sort of a little bit more, not necessarily passively, but just kind of trying new things here, and they certainly can do that with that 2-0 lead that they've got. So, still waiting on their next pickup right now. They have a pickup, and it's going to be going for Denial. And with Gyrocopter and with Ewo playing it, I mean, what do you expect to see here for Denial, with especially with the Ewo Copter, if you will?
I expect a safe trial lane. They're going to try and farm up this Gyrocopter as best as they can. And then when it comes to the mid-game, they're going to go for their team fights like they usually do, really. I think Clockwork is probably their preference in this set. I know Nature's Prophet is usually who they prioritize, but we saw what happened last game when they tried to fit both. It just didn't work out. There was too much and not enough raw damage is what they really needed. TM do pick up the Rubik, who would have been a reasonable guess, of course, but neither of us. Being able to steal something like that, call down, is phenomenal. It's a pretty easy ability to snag as well, so that is going to be nice for Rubik. And then also just denying the Rubik, because against Jakiro, we've seen what he can do. The Ice Bats are phenomenal. So Denial here have to make a decision. They could pick up the Chen as well, I suppose, if they'd like to, knowing that they're going to go for a safe tri-lane, and it wouldn't be too horrible. But I kind of like to see two supports they can roam a little bit harder between bottom and mid, try and win 2 lanes outright. And while you can roam the Chen pretty effectively, I think if you get a hard disable, maybe be a little bit better off. Something like the Venge, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. And that Vengeful Spirit, people kind of like, I think they misunderstand Vengeful Spirit. I think they kind of just say, well, it's a good hero. It's got a good stun, got good lockdown, but okay,
good
that's
stun.
Well, that's talking about good stuns. Earthshaker, well, yeah, that's pretty good right there. So.
Yeah, and now we got the battle of the 2 long-range disables. Earthshaker's is longer than Jakiro's, I believe. So he has a little bit of an edge in the middle of those team fights. And then an instant Juggernaut pick from Typical Mistakes. So this is what I'm talking about. It's just a little bit different from what we've seen so far. That being said, a lot of the carries that we've seen earlier were banned out, but Alchemist was still available. They could have won with Alchemist. It would have been a much, I'll say, safer lineup. They can definitely have a strong tri-lane off the back end of that. This Juggernaut could very well end up middle. It might not be the carry. They could still pick up an Alchemist. There's the TA.
Smash.
And Smash TA is an amazing combination. So two players, getting heroes they're really strong on again. And this is what a lot of teams revert to when they need to find some rhythm, find some success. Just get heroes that you're really strong on and roll the dice with that instead of trying to pick some masterful lineup and seeing how that pans out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But the one thing I am concerned about is I have not seen Denial run this Earthshaker. I think you might have. I'm not sure. But at the same time, it's a questionable, at best, pickup. You don't see it a whole lot in competitive play for a bunch of different reasons. He's okay now. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I think he's a good hero to pick up. You've got that Echo Slam, which if you can get in the right team fight can certainly be destructive. But at the same time, you can also maybe use some farm on that hero as well. And speaking of the Alchemist, well, there he is. Surprisingly enough.
I don't know how they're going to lane this, actually. I don't know if the Alchemist is going to go mid or Juggernaut's going to go mid. I'd assume the Alchemist would, because Alchemist versus TA is pretty good. You can zone him out with that Acid Spray, but Juggernaut can do pretty well with the Blade Fury too. So it's a kind of up in the air what they want to do with that lane. And then Bounty Hunter's response for Denial. So they don't go with the Clockwork that's still available. They go with the Bounty Hunter, and once again, they pick an aggressive lineup. Can they keep pace with Typical Mistakes, who have a pretty strong early game team too? This is going to be a clash. This is going to be a lot of team fights. I'm predicting a ton of kills in this game. It's going to be back and forth, hopefully, and we'll see who can actually win. If Typical Mistakes can close out the series, or Denial have a response.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about a clash, a back-and-forth game. That's exactly what we're looking for here. See if Denial can get back into this game, this series, essentially. They are down 2-0 right now. This is the American Dota League. It is the quarterfinals. We've got Denial versus Typical Mistakes right now. It's a best-of-5 series, so if Denial picks this one up, they'll be going to a game number 4. But if not, Typical Mistakes will be your winner, your victor, if you will. And I want to give a big shout out to, before we join the game, to Mike Lightning, who is a proud new father, as well as, of course, to Moobot. Always a great pleasure to have you in chat, Mr. Moobot. And you're a big help to all the mods there. And I think you are, of course, an inspiration to everyone in the modding community. But that being said, we will jump into the game, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Typical Mistakes versus Denial, as we will have a restroom pause, which, timely as it is, it's not a big deal. On the side of Typical Mistakes, we're going to see Merz Glacius. He'll be up on the Rubik. And our American Dota Overlord says there's no time for that. But clearly kidding. Meanwhile, Kix is going to be on the Lone Druid. Ree will be on the Juggernaut. Sleazel will be up on that Alchemist. And I am missing a hero. It is going to be, of course, Goody on the Jakiro. And John, Denial's all yours.
Looking at Denial, the Radiant team, we have Misko playing the Earthshaker, Mihawk on the Bounty Hunter, Smash. On Templar Assassin, Iwo playing the Gyrocopter, and Masuku on the Visage. Smash adds an O to his name when he's really angry.
Smash O. He's gonna get that.
Oh, he wants to be Smashocopter. He's jealous of Iwo.
Yeah, he wants to be the Smash-O assassin, I guess. That doesn't work really, but whatever. I mean, like, he's trying, I understand that, and I do like, I mean, like, I sometimes get upset when people change their names randomly throughout games, but this is acceptable. You know, this is cool. It's like, It's just the O.
He's also gone full caps. He's usually only like 3 letters caps, maybe alternating, but he's definitely, by looking at his name, he is angry, and he's ready to try and destroy this game. This is actually, since Ryu's on the Juggernaut, he's going to be up the middle, so we talked about how either of those heroes could fit pretty well there. So Templar Assassin versus Juggernaut mid, I mean, it's not the hardest match for TA, really. She out-damages him, can outlast hit him. He can apply pressure with the Blade Fury and get some CS, but I don't think that's too tough of a matchup, really, for TA.
No, I agree with you 100%. Especially once you get your Psyblade going. Even Psyblade level 1 is enough to really just absolutely devastate Juggernaut in lane. The upside is he's got a healing ward, which, as far as everyone is concerned, is an Imba item, or not item, but ability. I mean, just really good. Will that save him, in that mid matchup? I'm not sure. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. The Blade Fury you mentioned, good to damage that Templar Assassin, but some of those ticks will, of course, be hit up by Refraction if you're unlucky. If you're lucky, you're going to get a full, Blade Fury off, and Smash is going to go down, or Smash O, if you will. He is going to actually be heading up top right now with Ewo for the time being, but this is just going to be some 4-man aggression right now coming out for Denial, and this is a smart play. If they want to get something done here, they need to go ahead and try to fight up top, or just, play aggressive. I don't think they're looking for a kill. If they can find one, they'll be, I think, ecstatic about it, especially with, Misco kind of lagging behind here. They will wait up. They will wait to apply pressure. They'll wait for all 5. They have a good level 1 fighting lineup. They've got that Rocket Barrage. You've got Refraction already skilled up on the Templar Assassin. Mihawk went for Shadow Walk first, and that's going to give him, of course, vision, and they'll fall behind him. And Masoku can easily go for a Soul Assumption right now. And, Merz Glacius might be in some trouble here. He's roaming down to the low ground, into that river, back up to, of course, the high ground here, through this little staircase hallway, if you will. And still the 5-man pressure is coming from Denial. So they're going to try to wrap around, and Merz Glacius. Oh, dear God. And he knows what's coming here. He's going to walk right up into that. Merz Glacius taking a Rocket Barrage fully to the face. That is going to be potentially first blood. Yes, Misco is going to grab it with that fish. You talked about the increased range. And there it is being effective. And Merz Glacius, he did not have any vision walking up into that. He's just like, well, what's this? Oh, I'm dead now. So look at that.
Yeah. And they're getting a 1v1 bottom. It's going to be Bounty Hunter versus Lone Druid. I was looking at the Bounty Hunter the whole time. They didn't pull him regen, so it's a pretty obvious indication they are going to go aggressive tri-lane. So for the first time in this series, we're going to see tri-lanes clash. And that's going to be interesting. Alchemist is there. So there's effectively 3 disables for typical mistakes. If they get one person out of position, they can probably capitalize and get a kill, but a whole lot of damage on the side of Denial between the Gyrocopter and the Visage as well. But
we keep seeing this, and I have no idea why. Goody just likes to sit in this mid lane and potentially go for an early kill here on Smash. He's going to get Dual Breath. He went for Dual Breath level 1, so I'm not sure what that's accomplishing. Are they just going to dual lane this, and this is going to be a dual lane top that's going to get no farm for Sleazel? As you can already see, he's taking damage from a double damage Masoku. So now they have to play defensively here. I think they need to rotate Fan of Soy on top with this aggressive tri-lane going against this dual lane right now. And he is making his way up there. Yes, I think so. Okay, yeah. I think he's moving his way up there, so he realizes what's happening, and he's immediately just saying, okay, I'm coming, I'm on my way now. So,
yeah, and that's the necessary thing to do, honestly. This middle lane matchup, well, I think it's going to favor TA. It's not going to be by that much if Ryu plays conservatively. You mentioned the healing ward. If he keeps that back, it's difficult for Smash to try and get past him to kill it off in the middle lane since it is such a small lane. So that should be pretty effective in keeping it alive. And then when the Bottle Coin comes into play, both parties are going to be pretty happy with what's going on there. The top lane, though, is going to be where all the action happens. Yeah. And we do see Goody actually rotating back towards middle lane. So he refuses to commit to it. And if they notice this, I mean, they have a ward over here that spots him once he comes down to the low ground, and they can immediately try and capitalize top lane with these long-range stunts from Misco. If they catch one hero, they can maybe get a kill up here, and that's really going to make Goody pay for this kind of unnecessary rotation.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I understand that he wants to maybe just deal a little bit more damage to Smash, make it a little bit more difficult, but Sleazel's not going to get the farm that he needs up here if he keeps rotating out. I mean, he's not sitting at a CS at all. Sleazel has 0 CS, and this is a problem because you need to get farm on this Alchemist, otherwise this is not paying off. So I understand that they've got a 2 advantage right now, but they can't make these kind of decisions. The good thing is that right now Mihawk is being kind of foolish and actually is about to go down and feed First Blood. Yeah, he just fed First Blood to the Lone Druid. He hit out of Shadow Walk with, of course, that Janata. I think he thought it was going to do more damage than it did, and he kind of just... I'm not really sure what that was. But so there's at least that going for them. Cakes is getting some decent farm, but 14 last hits already going for the gyrocopter in this top lane, and so this is something that I'm very surprised to see. Smash, of course, he's getting his bottle, he's crowing it right now, so they are kind of harassing him again. And Sleazel, of course, in the top lane with Merz Glacius, they have to play back here. Meanwhile, the spin mid lane, nice ice path. This is what they want to accomplish. Smash taking some damage. There's the healing ward. Smash might go down. There's the melt strike. Doesn't matter. Fan of Soyan picking up the kill. Nicely done from Typical Mistakes. And fine. All right, all of my concerns and annoyances have been alleviated for the time being. But in that top lane...
He didn't know there was a sentry there. Oh, that's the worst feeling in the world when he's sitting there and just getting hit harder. On the bottom, Mihawk to die into the lone druid is kind of unforgivable when there's no detection on him. You see him popping out now. He's playing it safer because he knows he has the invis available, but he still gets entangled, and he's going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, Mihawk is living dangerously right now, and this is a very favorable matchup right now for the Lone Druid because Cakes has that Orb of Venom, which gives you that extra harass damage, and Mihawk just can't really stand up to him. He's going to send his bear there. I mean, if he had any vision, like any dust, Mihawk would be dead again, and going 2-0, you know, giving Cakes 2-0 at this point in time is exactly what you don't want to do. I got to give props to Goody. I was concerned at first, but Smash did go down, and that was with an Invis Rune, I believe, is the reason they picked up that kill. And now there's going to be a spin coming out from Ryu, making sure Smash can't really get close. And Ryu's going to get some decent CS. He's actually leading the way right now. 15-7 is the score. So we were concerned that that matchup was going to go very favorably for Smash, but really it's not happening right now because I think, number one, that gank, and number two, Smash is playing pretty well here. Or not Smash, excuse me, Ryu is playing very well. In that top lane, they do give Sleazel some room with the Jakiro. There is another sentry ward placed right here from the Radiant side, which I do believe is going to stop that camp from spawning. So there's no pulls happening right now. You know, Goody says, I'm going to maybe try to pull the small camp. We'll see what we can do here. Sleazel is sitting at 3 CS, and this is rough. And down in that bottom lane, Mihawk again, living dangerously, maybe wants another Janata hit, but Cakes is going to go into his true form, and that's going to be the end of that. There's no way he can kill him solo now.
Yeah, Mihawk needs to just cool his jets a little bit and get his level 6 because he can definitely break the tri-lane top. And that's what he's going to want to do and what he's going to need to do to get those heroes rolling because they haven't picked up kills really on that top lane outside of the early first blood. And even though there's good CS on Gyrocopter, they still want kills to get that experience onto those supports who are going to be starved for experience a little bit here. They're still doing slightly better because that lane's been bullied hard. But, ooh, we see trouble for Rubik.
Yeah, he's going to get Grave Chilled right now. Merz Glacius getting chased. He doesn't have a whole lot in terms of soul assumption, but the Fissure flying out as well. The homing missile going out. Nice ice path, not going to save his life, and Visage is going to pick up that kill. Now they're still chasing. Sleazel wants to go, but Sleazel actually has to back off here. You can see that flat cannon doing some damage. A TP now coming in. It's back from Misco, but the aggressive nature of this trial lane is working out in their favor. Nice ice path, going to hit onto 2. The Unstable Concoction. I don't know if he's going to get this off. It's got to go on Misco. It is going to fly. That'll do a decent amount of damage, but there's no way he can get there. There's the Grave Chill. Merz Glacius wants to come in and get that Fade Bolt off, but it's not going to do enough damage to get that kill either. So definitely a nice dive there. They'll grab the kill. Ryu in the meantime in the mid lane taking a bit of damage there. He's got that healing ward in 6 seconds. He's got to be very careful. However, he took some damage from Smash, exchanging damage. As you can see, Smash is also considerably low. Smash now up to 24 last hits. So the lead that Ryu had in that lane is pretty much gone right now in terms of just straight up CS. In terms of farm, however, he did pick up that kill earlier with the help of Goody. Experience lead, 0. Gold lead, 750, going for denial, and that I think is a byproduct of the aggressive trial lane top where Sleazel's not getting a whole lot done.
Yeah, this tower's taking a lot of damage as well top. So they're in a little bit of trouble up here, and I would really love to see the timing synchronized with Bounty Hunter getting level 6 and rotating up himself, but he is still struggling bottom. It's being pushed pretty hard by Cakes, so they might have to go for a trade, but I think it'll be worthwhile if he gets a couple of track kills. I don't know if he'll pull the trigger on that or not, but I'm just speculating here. Templar Assassin's going to build towards those drums. Ryu does have double damage in the middle lane. It's going to be hard-pressed to apply any pressure to the TA, though. And you did mention him coming back in CS, and that's exactly because of his extra damage in lane. And now Jakiro's finally going to make his way back up to the top lane, try and stave this off. But, I mean, only 6 CS on your Alchemist. You're in a really rough position, and there's a whole lot of control. And with that Fissure as well, Earthshaker's able to just disengage, where Typical Space may have thought they could pick somebody off while Denial were retreating after being so deep in. The Fisher kind of just stopped that. Now there's TP and gank.
Oh, stun going to come out. Sleazel going to hit Masoku, and he's going to take a lot of damage. There's going to be the Blade of Fury. They won't use that Omni Slash. Ryu has no mana for it right now, but they'll pick up that kill. Nice rotation coming out from Ryu, but that does leave the mid lane farmable for Smash. He's going to throw up his Refraction, just try to do some damage to this tower. And this tower should take some considerable damage here, potentially even go to half health before someone comes in. Either they fortify it or help out as well. You're going to see a TP rotation coming out from Masoku, who's going to go ahead and ward up as you do need that vision. It is nighttime, 7:48 in game time right now. Cakes with, of course, that level 4 bear.
Bad timing.
Yeah. And, well, Mihawk, he's going to come out of Invis.
Oh, you missed it. It was an Omni Slash in the river. Masoku barely lived.
Oh,
he was walking toward at the worst timing and somehow lived. So Omni Slash wasted. And now Smash is going to be able to get back to his lane. I think Ryu still managed to get through Ruin, though, so he'll have some regen, and he should be okay.
And he's actually roaming back up into that top lane. He's got enough for Blade Fury, and after that, a Healing Ward on top of that. So, well, not yet. He needs one more bottle charge. But you do see them backing off here. They do have this Radiant Vision, of course, his ward, which gives you that vision. I mean, he was passing right through here. So Ryu's going to have to TP back down to that mid lane. Down to the bottom lane, you see, of course, that Jakiro want to go on Mihawk. He's got the Sentry Ward. Ice Path just going to miss. The Entangle not going to go first proc either. So now he knows he's there. Mihawk has to back off considerably. He'll stay underneath that tower, and of course, Goody's presence has been revealed. So just barely missing that Ice Path, unfortunately. There's a Sentry Ward down next to that tower. Cakes wants to go for this tower push right now. You can see it. Mihawk looking for that Entangle. The Ice Path is going to come out. It is going to hit right now. The track's going to go. Dual Breath as well on top of that. Mihawk taking some damage. He's going to, of course, go use that Shadow Walk again. Now a TP, Sentry Ward again. They want something. Oh, Fan of Soyon. He's blocking. The Fisher coming out as well. Cakes taking more damage, but now the Root. Misko, he's in some trouble. There's the Ice Path on top of that. Track going on Cakes. Will they get this kill? Nice Enchant Totem. Not another, of course, Root going to happen there. Cakes is getting chased. He's getting blocked in. Taking a lot of damage. He wants that kill. Not going to happen. And now Fan of Soyon. He's in a bad position, as you can see. Another Enchant. Boom, right to the face. And dunked. Earthshaker grabs another kill. Nicely done.
Wow.
That was a really drastic turn of events.
That was the ugliest sequence I've ever seen of Dota.
Yep.
And Earthshaker is now level 6.5. Oh my god, he's tied with well, he's above the Alchemist. He's tied with the Gyrocopter now. That was just horrifying, and the tower goes down on the top lane. What were Typical Mistakes doing? They want a game 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Typical Mistakes, that was a typical mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that was the essence of their name right there. That was not something that I would like to see again. That was, like you said, I don't know if this is the worst moment of Dota I've seen, but it was certainly really not one of the best. But they will escape. Denial going to grab a couple of kills out of that. Earthshaker going to get some more farm, as well as, of course, the Bounty Hunter with that track gold on top of that, with 1,600 gold there. So, and yeah, so right now, the net worth looking at it, Smash and Ewo leading the way. And Smash is going to get Ice Path right now. There's the Dual Breath as well, the Blade Fury. Ryu has his Omni Slash, but not enough mana to use it. Misko, he's going to throw down that fish. He's got the Echo Slam, not going to follow up on it, however. So the engagement going to be, I guess, just prolonged there, not necessarily. They're going to go ahead and smoke and use that in Viz. Nope, just smoke right now and look for maybe a gank bottom there, as there's, you know, a bunch of heroes down here. Cakes and Sleazel really want this tower. Mihawk's going to go ahead and Shadow Walk away. Sleazel, he's going to throw that dust up. Telekinesis, Merz Glacius looking for that. There's the Unstable Concoction. He's hit up right now. There's the trap going. They want this bear to get in at just try to root. Mihawk going to go ahead and another track. Nice Ice Path. Sleazel, the call down. He's going to fall. Cakes in some trouble. The Soul Assumption. Cakes is going to fall as well. 2 down right now, and immediately 3. Double kill for Smash. So Typical Mistakes, again, being too aggressive, losing 3 heroes. Merz Glacius might be the 4th. The Fisher's going to fly out. Nicely timed on the side, of course, where he cannot move. Double kill for Ewo as well on top of that. And Denial, 8-3. They're going to go ahead and push this tower, take the Tier 1, and there's still 1 Tier 1 left. And that's going to be in the mid lane. But right now, they've got a 3,000 experience lead, 5,000 gold lead. And, well, it's just a little too much here.
Yeah, and it's going to keep going up. And the problem with that fight, too, 2 track kills. They were trying to kill off Mihawk on that Bounty Hunter, but they just couldn't get the last hit on him, which is kind of in the story of this Bounty Hunter sequence on the bottom lane. They just can't find the last hit, and they're over-pursuing for it and ending up paying for it. It's just that lane went so amazingly for Cakes. I mean, he did a great job, got good farm, took down the bounty hunter once by himself, and then they overcommit to it so hard where they don't have to. They could have pulled off a little bit. They could have swung their attention towards a different lane, perhaps top lane, threw some support in there. But instead, they bring down a couple of heroes, they make it a thing, and the response from Denial is better than anything they put forth, and it ends up a horrible sequence of events and puts them behind in this game. And we talked about them wanting to close out this game, wanting to close out this series. You don't want to give any hope to Denial now that they're down 2-0 on the brink of destruction. But it looks like that's exactly what they're doing right now. There's some hope gleaming in the eyes of Denial players.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, typical mistakes, they want to stamp any of that out as much as possible. But right now, they're doing kind of the opposite of that. You see Sleazel, looks like he's about to get ganked. He's got Chemical Rage, so he should be able to survive here unless another hero comes up. You see Misko is available. He has not used that Echo Slam just yet. And, well, he's going to look for an engagement pretty soon. I mean, they've got this lead. Sleazel running around with that Bane set, by the way, which looks awesome. I mean, there's going to be a Visage picking up a Medallion of Courage as well. Mihawk's going to Shadow Walk right next to Sleazel. Not sure if he saw the animation or heard it for that matter, but he's going to back out of there smartly. And there's 3 mid right now. The Ice Path's going to go. It's going to miss on Smash. Ryu's here. Here come the Familiars. There's going to be the Blade Fury as well. He's taking a lot of damage from those Familiars alone, just their right-click damage. So Ryu's going to have to Blade Fury, throw up the Healing Ward as well, which is going to use some mana. He does not have that mana for that Omni Slash, which is pretty big for a fight if it does go right now. Sleazel's tracked up as well. And down in this bottom lane, Cake's still looking for farm. He's got 1,200 gold. Rotating down here is Ewo. He's sitting at 6,000 net worth. He's got 85 last hits at 13 minutes in the game. His Helm of the Dominator is finished up. So the Ewo Copter, hop aboard. I mean, it's leaving soon. I mean, that plane.
Yeah, and this is the kind of game where Ewo's not going to be afraid to buy up a first item MKB. I mean, TM do have a lot of disables, but just think about the way the fights have developed, the success they've had early game here. He wants to pile it on, and we do see this Tier 1 being contested heavily. There's a response for typical mistakes, but they're pushed so far back. The tower's already dropping, and it looks like Ice Path is going to fly, and they'll be able to stave off the aggression of Denial for a moment as Ewo continues to farm bottom. Cake's going to get hit by a rocket, but it looks like they're going to slow down for a moment. 8 kills for Denial, over 3 kills for TM. And they already have 2 tower kills to their name as well. Only 1 tower is down for Denial. So they're winning in multiple aspects of this game right now. The question is, last game they were up by a large margin and they ended up losing. Can they close this time around?
Yeah, and that's going to be the big question, I think, for them right now. I mean, you should be able to, with how little farm Sleazel's gotten. I mean, he's got 29 CS right now, 57, excuse me, for Ryu. Cakes is sitting at 76, so he's doing okay for himself. He's gone down twice, however. One, of course, with that silly dive. And yeah, that Fisher on the wrong side. Not a big deal, though. They will stop chasing over, even with that Grave Chill. They don't want any TP rotations, which are surprisingly not coming right now. You could see still no TP rotations from the side of Typical Mistakes, and they're actually roaming through mid. They maybe want to go for Smash right now. Unstable Concoction might go in just a moment for Alchemist, but instead, they're backing off. I mean, they know 4 heroes are down in that bottom lane right now, and they decided to not jump on top of that Templar Assassin instead. So, kind of passive play from from Typical Mistakes. And when you kind of least expect it, I mean, they need to jump back in this game. I understand they don't want to make too many more mistakes here, but they're about to do that with, of course, Fan of Swan throwing down an Ice Path. Nice Fisher coming in as well. The Melt Strike and the Echo Slam just to secure the kill. Because why not? That casual Echo Slam is going to come in. Now they're going to go ahead and push that Tier 1 tower.
Echo Slam for 10 damage. Why not? Yeah. Sleazel is under the tower, and this tower is definitely going to go down here. As the rotation went top, they're going to try and find out Bounty Hunter with the Juggernaut and Rubik, but wisely played by Mihawk. He rotated away. He's back towards the middle now. He's getting close to that level 11 track, which is a nice increase. I mean, anytime you get levels on track, you're really happy with the result because there's so much more gold in play for kills, and these are some easy kills for them to get considering how far ahead they are just in levels alone, and then taking into consideration their item progression being pretty solid as well. It's just free gold for them if they can find off the right heroes in the right places. And top lane, Ryu's all by himself, but he should be okay up here.
Yeah, even with that homing missile, Ryu should be able to get out. I mean, he could always Blade Fury if necessary. Gyrocopter, he does have the call down. He's, like you said, going for that MKB straight away because why not? I mean, he's got the money to do so, and Ryu will be He's going to get hit up by that homing missile. Meanwhile, mid lane, there's some big aggression. Sizzle taking a lot of damage. You can see it right there. Mihawk, of course, is trying to do as much damage as possible with Smash laying into him, and now they will back off there. They're not able to grab that kill. They're going to throw more tracks up. Of course, the Familiar's doing a decent amount of damage there. The Healing Ward's going to come up, and that's going to save them some health as well. They'll get one of the Familiars in the end. I think he recreated, but a little too late there. So 100 gold is going to go with that bounty. Now Smash looking to go again. He does not have a Blink Dagger. He's actually going for Yasha, maybe into a Manta style. So he's not going to go for that Blink Dagger. He's just going to go for that damaging Templar Assassin semi-carry build into a carry build potentially. Mihawk still roaming up here in that top lane. Top jungle is looking for a track, looking for Ice Path, Fan of Soyan. Juggernaut going to pick up that kill on the Visage using that Omni Slash, which failed him before. But now Fan of Soyan taking damage from not only one hero, but three now with Misko coming in with that Fissure. They actually cannot get out of there. You can see Ryu, of course, now blade throwing through. You can see Misko taking too much damage. Will he be able to get away? That drum charge, I believe, was popped. No, he's got, of course, the track speed. Now the Enchant Totem. Fissure gonna miss right now. There's the Unstable Concoction. That'll clean it up. The Shuriken Toss not gonna dissuade Ryu from trying to pick up that kill. And here comes Cakes looking for Mihawk right now. Mihawk can potentially Shadow Walk away in 1 second. In fact, we'll just be able to get out of there just by hoofing it, even without that Shadow Walk. So nicely done. They do pick up one kill, but still, now Ryu's going to get stunned up by those Familiars. There's really no danger of them getting killed here. You do see Templar Assassin with that Invis Room, but that's not going to be a whole lot that they can do with that. So
yeah, and all the meanwhile, they lose a couple heroes. It's not the best setup for Denial ever. Ewo is farming the bottom lane. He's now 2 gold away from having his completed MKB, and this is a time of the game, 19 minutes in, I mean sub 19 minutes to be honest and be fair, where a Gyrocopter with an MKB is going to destroy typical mistakes. We're talking about heroes that 2 supports sitting on only boots, level 6 on Rubik, level 6 on Jakiro. They're going to get absolutely torn apart. Even the carries don't have very much. Alchemist is trying to find enough to scrounge up a Shadow Blade. But, I mean, if you're Denial right now, I say you have to go for the jugular. You have to go ahead and just try and make the most out of this MKB in the middle of fights because this timing is so perfect for them.
yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I mean, they've got the damage here with, of course, him and the Templar Assassin. And like you said, they're level 6 on those supports. I mean, Ewo is level 13. Just getting that MKB at 19 minutes in the game. His farm is spectacular. His net worth is at 10,000, 159 CS. So Ewo looking very strong here. Ryu just trying to get some CS in the mid lane himself. He's sitting on a Yasha, going to go for that drum as soon as he can complete up the recipe. Evo's looking for a homing missile there, and maybe potentially looking for a kill. The Psionic Trap is going to go, but they're not going to chase. Mihawk might throw up the track if necessary. Ryu's going to go ahead and Blade Fury away. The track is going to go, of course, that is going to go straight through that Blade Fury, no problem there. Down in that bottom lane, Cakes continues to farm, and might be that only hope for, I think, the side of typical mistakes here. Ryu's not really getting that much CS, neither is the Alchemist, who's sitting at 58 right now. So they need kills. Every time they engage in a fight, which of course does trade, it's going to the benefit of Denial with the track gold. There's going to be an Ice Path, but Ewo's not really particularly concerned here. Track's going to go, and they're looking like they want to just try to fight this. There's a big engagement brewing, I think, in the mid lane right now. And Smash, he's going to be sitting at the front lines with that Refraction for the time being. And typical mistakes, they need to try to not fight here. I mean, they've got to know that Ewo has that MKB right now, and that's something they need to be very, very, very aware of and very concerned of, too. And you talked about it at great length, so...
Yeah, and then Mihawk behind the tower is just going to continue to track people, so it makes it so tough for them to come in here. Acid Spray is going to be the only thing trying to slow down this push, but Ewo is still able to take down the wave rather quickly. Shadow Blade initiate.
Misoku might be in some trouble here. Here's the Psionic Trap going through. Smash wants to fight. Misoku in some trouble. There's the call down. It's only going to hit on one right now, two potentially, but still they're backing off right now. They've already lost their Visage, and they don't want to fight again, it looks like. They're pinging on Misko. I think they know he's up there. But that should be the end of the engagement. Surprising that Denial didn't jump on top of that, despite the fact that they lost Misko, or Misoku, excuse me. I don't know if that was necessarily the best opportunity for them to not fight. I mean, I think they should have just went through and gone ahead with it.
They had that vision, you're right. So Earthshaker couldn't find more than 2 heroes to throw an Echo Slam at, so he was being a little bit picky. If he got it on one, they probably could have picked off that hero, but... still, I think maybe saving it and waiting is not a bad idea because Visage, of course, his respawn timer is pretty low. Get him right back into the fight and then try it again. Maybe this time having to worry about less. If they get some detection up, Alchemist can't nearly engage on them as effectively, so you could definitely see that happening in the...
Oh, Echo Slam onto Ryu right now. So, nice Fisher as well, but on the opposite side that they wanted, and it looks like Merz Glacius will be able to get out of there. And you mentioned him being picky. I mean, he only got that in one at most, right? So, or two even. But, like, still, that was not the engagement that they were looking for. It doesn't matter. They get the kill, and they're going to look for the tower kill as well on top of that.
Yeah, so it's a nice victory. Anytime you can get a kill and transition it into a tower, and maybe even a Roshan now, then yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. And he was being picky the time before. The teammates probably just said, you know what, we're so far ahead, just get the single kill, and that will be enough. We'll turn it into a major victory by getting a tower and a Rosh on top of it. And that's exactly what they're doing. Misko's taking a lot of damage from Rosh here. He's going to actually have to TP home, but Ewo will get an Aegis. And with 3,000 gold in the bank, he is ridiculously huge. He's only getting bigger. I mean, he is a major concern here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's at a point right now where he's going to be doing a lot of damage. Meanwhile, in that top lane, Ice Path's going to go out. Sizzle's tracked up right now, but they're not going to continue to chase. Only 2 heroes in the top lane, so despite Smash outputting a lot of damage here, they're not willing to throw their lives away. They realize that there might be 5 heroes looming around for typical mistakes, and they in fact are. Ewo, though, you mentioned how big of a factor he's going to be. He's got the Aegis, 3,500 gold, the MKB on top of that, and his next item, well, who knows what it's going to be at this point, but whatever it's going to be, it's going to provide him even a larger margin of error. I mean, he's certainly at a point where he's sitting at 13,000 net worth, which is 4,000 higher than pretty much the next person. They're going to smoke up, and this is the right idea. They're going to look for pick in that bottom lane. Meanwhile, Ryu doing a lot of damage to Smash. He's going to get entangled. Smash getting caught out of position. He's going to go down. I think the Echo Slam was, by the way, stolen from Rubik, or by Rubik, and he'll pick up the kill there with the Lone Druid grabbing it. So, nicely done. And, of course, by the way, this is going to be a Sacred Relic, which is that Radiance done now for that Spirit Bear, as the recipe does just get there. Down in that bottom lane now. Fisher's going to go on Sleazel. They cannot chase him. Of course, the Fisher on the wrong side. They wanted to block him out on the opposite side, probably. Gyrocopter grabbing that kill on the tower. Cakes will get the tier 1 up in that top lane. But tier 2 for tier 1, probably a better trade there. They wanted to get that kill on Cakes. Not going to happen. Or not on Cakes, excuse me, on Sleazel. TP rotation coming out from Misko. He has an Echo Slam in about 11 seconds. He's got no help to use it, however. So Ryu's actually going to chase him kind of around the trees here. Ring around the rosy, if you will. Misko, he can blink out at any time if he needs to. Looking for an Omni Slash. Not able to find it. Nicely played from Misko, making sure that he does not get hit up by that Omni Slash. Roaming on through Ewo. He's coming. He's looking for kills, and he's a scary force. And now there's the blink coming in. Fisher, Cakes is in some trouble right now. Smash coming in as well. The tower will go down. Cakes is going to grab it. There's the Melt Strike, the Echo Slam as well. Cakes taking a lot of damage here. He should fall, and absolutely will. And in the meantime, he actually picks up the kill on that Earthshaker, just using, of course, his bear alone. So a nice pickup there. And Misoku does go down as well. It looks like the Juggernaut uses Omni Slash for that kill as well.
I think that was a little bit of a mistake. That bear was so low on health. If Ewo had come in and killed the bear, and then they got the kill on the Lone Druid, they would have maximized their gold. So it's a minor mistake for them there, but you can see middle lane, they're going on Ryu again.
Yeah, the track's going to go right now, but a nice Blade Fury should save him of any real troubles as he'll back off to. Of course, there's no tier 2 tower here, but he's in the comforting arms of his teammates right now, so not a big deal. Ryu's going to back up. He's got that drums. Looking at the other items in the game right now, you can see the Mantis done for Smash at this point. We talked about that Shadow Blade, which we saw earlier, going for BKBs, that Alchemist. And other than that, I think the Yasha finished up for you, and Cakes with that Radiance, which we saw before he died quickly. I mean, if we look at the graphs as well, it should tell the tale of Denial leading by not, the biggest margin we've seen. The last game they had about a 10,000 experience lead. Right now they have a 12,000 gold lead and a 7,500 experience lead. So it's getting up there. It's getting up to the point where they were at last game. But right now they have a Gyrocopter, which is vastly different than what they were facing in the previous game with that Faceless Void. I mean, there's nothing really super hard. I mean, if the Alchemist gets that farm, absolutely. But, he's only sitting on 2,000 gold and barely at a BKB at this point. Meanwhile, Denial is going to look for this tier 2 tower. They're going to TP mid right now, look for a fight potentially on, of course, Ryu. Ryu's going to get tracked up. He's got Blade Fury in 8 seconds, but other than that, he might be in some trouble. Nice long ring. Fisher coming out from the side of Misko. Ryu's going to take some damage. He might fall. Oh, the root coming in. Mihawk's going to get killed by, of course, Cakes and that Lone Druid and his bear. Ryu trying to Blade Fury out, but no, the right-click damage is going to be enough for Smash. Continue on further. He's going to pick up that regen rune. Nice meld. They have no sentry here, it looks like now. They're going to, of course, use that Mantis Towel. Here comes the call down. Ewo as well. So much damage coming through Cakes. Sleazel's going to roam right on in, but there's the Soul Assumption as well. Ewo picking up a kill. Sleazel's going to fall next, maybe. They have that sentry ward. Can they catch him? Yes, they'll get the kill. A double kill coming out for Ewo. And they'll pick off everybody except the Jakiro, who is nowhere near that fight. So a big fight for Denial. That's only going to further their lead. and they're going to look for potentially a tier 3 tower next. They've got a 10,000 experience lead and 12,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and I don't want to startle anybody, but Emo's sitting on 7,200 gold.
Oh, that's a lot of gold.
I've seen him do this before, where he goes for the rapier. It's a weird timing because Roche respawns Roche Aegis is reclaimed in 2 minutes. This could be a rapier out here momentarily. It'd be a lot safer if he just went for the Satanic and then waited for the next Roche to pick up a rapier, since he'd still have some money left over. But I definitely seen him go for the straight up rapier before, and it could close this game out one way or another if he decides to purchase it up.
I mean, that would be a ballsy decision. Listen, that's something that I'm just going to go ahead and say. I mean, the Aegis is reclaimed in 1 minute. If you're going to buy that, more power to you.
This exact thing where he's picked up the rapier here, and I mean, it blew my mind, but they ended up winning with it, and then it got awkward at the end, but he still won.
So, it got awkward? What happened? What part about it was awkward?
GG and then got the rapier. And then it looked like they could have staged the biggest comeback ever, but they had already called GG. So
that is a little awkward.
Yeah, it got a little
awkward. One of those awkward situations, I guess.
He's not buying anything, and it's going to be gone in a second. So I wonder if maybe being so far back in the series and on, the verge of losing it all, if he'll play it a little bit safer in this instance than he would in any other given game. He's going to go in his bottom lane, though.
Yeah, he wants to try to go on Cakes here. Cakes, he's going to get a homing missile taken to the face here. He's going to TP out before that happens, however. He should be... Oh, that was closer than I thought it was going to be. That was way closer than I thought it was going to be. But still.
Yeah. That was close. And now's the time where we'll see him build something. Top lane, they're going to try and go on Sleeceless. Sleeceless
Yeah, they don't have a gem, I don't believe, right now. He's going to go ahead and BKB, but just so much damage. Smash, barely not able to get that kill with the double damage rune. You got to admire his perseverance, but Fan of Soyan might be in some trouble. He'll throw it down an ice path, but here come, of course, the familiars, the Soul Assumption as well. And Misoku's just going to clean that right up for him. He says, thank you very much for that kill. I'll take that gladly. Now in the mid lane, Ryu with that Yasha, and, well, there's the butterfly. Okay. I know some of you are disappointed by that pickup. This is the safest pickup probably for him at this point in time. But now you really have no reason to just go for the push. I know there's no Aegis here available for another 3 minutes, but still, at this point with the butterfly, you're potentially outputting a ton of damage. I mean, you have 141 extra damage on top of what your base damage is already, plus the butterfly coming out to you right now, which is going to even increase his damage further, plus the evasion. So at this point, I'm not sure if they're going to wait for the next Roche. They can, if they want to be super safe, which is a smart idea. I mean, since they're down 2-0, I imagine them waiting for the next Roche. But at the same time, they have all rights to go ahead and push that base if they want to.
Yeah, I think they could have pushed starting 10 minutes ago when they had that MKB up, but they have definitely played it a little bit safer, and you just mentioned it. It's worthwhile to take your time and make sure you close out this game after really throwing away your chances in the last game pretty hard there. So just play it a little bit more methodical. Here's a smoke gank to try and get something going for TM.
Yeah, I mean, they have a 15,000 gold in experience there. There's a track going, and Sleazel's looking for Misko. Nice blank, Sleazel. He might be able to get it with the Fisher. Oh, Sleazel's going to stun himself. Yes. And there's no counter initiation coming just yet. The Ice Path just barely missing Misko, by the way. They'll back off. The Ghost Scepter is going to go for Misko, and they'll avoid any sort of really bad initiation coming out from the side of Denial, with Typical Mistakes just barely missing their engagement there with that smoke gank. So you have to admire them with that idea to go for that smoke gank. But Smash is down here. He's got that Demon Edge and is looking for Daedalus next as he picks up the Chrysalis now. So just more damage to deal with right now if you're on the side of Typical Mistakes. It's just well, I guess we can't get really any further behind, so...
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the net worth, you could see that Gyrocopter plus Templar Assassin is 34,000 net worth.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Alchemist plus the Lone Druid is 21,000. So the gold disparity is almost there between the carries alone in the 14,000 difference, maybe 13,000 difference.
Right.
That's pretty preposterous when you're considering those are the heroes you want the farm on. Everyone else in that graph, it would be splendid if you can get some extra farm on the Bounty Hunter or the Juggernaut, but those are the 4 heroes that are competing directly, and Denial are just outright winning that competition right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of winning, they have the Satanic #winning for the Gyrocopter right now, so the Butterfly's done as well as the MKB. I mean, he's at a point where he's pretty much reaching a critical mass. I mean, the only way he can get any bigger is if he got a rapier, which we all want to see. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Everything.
Yeah, I mean, he can. Big Echo Slam going on to Ryu, the Fisher as well, plus the Melt Strike. Not enough damage, but the right click from Misko is enough there. And so he's down for 60 seconds. He probably doesn't have a buyback. In fact, the only person that does in this game, well, actually he will in about 4 seconds, but the other person that does is going to be Cake. So if they want to go ahead and have him buy back, they absolutely can, but I don't know if that's going to really do them any good. Roshan is going to spawn in just about a moment or two, and I mean, they've got complete map control despite the fact that they have really no wards here on the Roche Pit. They do, of course, have these, well, these are defensive wards coming out from the side of Typical Mistakes. Here's the buyback. They want to try to fight this, but unlike their, of course, last fight in the Roche Pit from last game, they don't have a Chronosphere to work with. They're sitting right underneath Familiars and, of course, this Radiant Sentry Ward. So this is a position where Denial knows exactly what's going on right now, and there's really nothing that Typical Mistakes can do other than just straight up initiating here. In fact, there might be some counter-initiation. You see Mihawk roaming through looking for Ryu right now, can wrap around potentially. They're heading into the Roche Pit. They're really not afraid. Smash can maybe potentially solo this with his crit, assuming he doesn't get hit up too much with that bash. And right now you can see also the Medallion of Courage making quick work of this Roshan, and he should fall in just moments. And Ewo, he's going to go ahead and pick up that Aegis. So Smash, all that hard work going to go to Ewo, unfortunately. Nothing they really can do on Typical Mistakes aside. They have to back off. They've got to, of course, defend the base now. The good thing is this Spirit Bear is pushing out the lane with the Radiance Burn. So there is that going for them. I mean, that top lane is going to have to be pushed out again if they want to go in top, but really that's not going to be where they're going. They've got their sights set on the Tier 3 tower mid. Mantis Illusions are in here. Ewo's in here right now. His Flat Cannon's going to go in just a moment, assuming they want to fight this. Sonic Trap's going to fly. There's going to be the Ice Path on Ewo. Ewo, of course, he's got that Aegis going. There's got a lot of damage, as you can see. Of course, the Blade Fury, but still not enough. The Blade Fury doing a lot of damage, but of course, he's got that evasion going. There's the Satanic just going to town right now. Big Ice Path again from Fan of Soy on the Radiance Burn, doing some work. Fan of Soy, meanwhile, taking a lot of damage. There's the first kill for Ewo. The tower's about to fall. And there's another Unstable Concoction. That Age is still available. Meanwhile, they'll pick up the kill on Masoku. They've got to back off now, potentially. Ryu taking more damage. Ewo is about to fall here, and in fact will do so. Yes, there it goes. The Aegis is down now. 3 heroes down, of course, including the Gyrocopter right now. Can they take him down again is the question. He's still alive. Another Unstable Concoction to the face. They've only taken a Tier 3. No, of course, Rax is just yet, but now they go to town on these Raxes. Only down is Jakiro. They're going to go back and heal up and maybe go for another attempt here. Fortification's going to fly. Ewo maybe needs to be careful here. He's only got 3 heroes to back him up, and he will in fact back off right now. Maybe looking to fight. They might throw an Unstable Concoction here, and there's going to be that call down, and Suzel's not going to step into that, but a good defense coming out from Typical Mistakes. They can't break the base just yet, and that was with an Aegis, by the way. So maybe the next item needs to be a BKB. You saw how much Unstable Concoction he took to the face there. I mean, it was like 3 or 4 times it went to town on him, plus the telekinesis, plus everything included. So go for BKB next, I think, on Ewo, and maybe potentially avoid fighting until then, because, I mean, they're still taking a significant amount of damage. Meanwhile, mid lane, there's going to be the Echo Slam. Ryu is going to go down. So just stepping out of bounds there just a little bit. However, Misko just going to fall as he pops that Ghost Scepter, maybe at the wrong time, stepping into that Macro Power. Misoku coming through as well. There's going to be the Soul Assumption. Fan of Storyline taking more damage. The Ice Breath onto 2 once more. And that Familial freezing for a second. The Ghost Scepter going again, and they have to back off. Fan of Storyline taking more damage. The Sonic Trap again. Wants this bear to actually do work. But another Ice Path, the Soul Assumption, as well as the Familiar going to town still. And Fan of Storyline, he's got to fall here. I mean, he just cannot get out. He cannot catch a break. He was getting chased for pretty much that entire duration there for about a minute or so. But once again, Typical Mistakes, they win, I guess, sort of a fight, and they're able to push everything back. But then they make the mistake of just trying to farm too far out of their base. And now it's open to, I guess, hit that naked set of racks there with Smash going to town on it right now.
Yeah, they're going to lose the racks. I don't know if it was much of a win. It was more like delay tactics, and it worked out for them, but now their base is exposed. They're going to be able to take down this racks casually and probably rotate and take a second set. That was the all-in for Typical Mistakes, and it just doesn't seem like it was enough. Do they want to rotate here? It looks like Smash is considering it. Ewo backing up a little bit. 5,000 more gold in the Gyrocopter, so if he wants something like a BKB, he certainly can pick it up. I think he wants the Rapier now, though. I mean, no. Prove me wrong right again.
Man.
There it is. Instantly goes for the Manta. I don't know. Ewocopter really just being frustrating right now. Delaying the inevitable. He thrives on the Divine Rapier, but instead he's going to play it much safer. We keep saying it, that this game is so important for Denial. they really can't afford to lose some of these sieges on the base. They need to capitalize, and now with the racks down middle, it should make it a whole lot easier, putting pressure on one of the other lanes.
I mean, at this point, though, you've got to wonder. I mean, they're in a position where it would be monumentous to throw this game, and you can see they're looking for a kill on that bear, which they sheeped up. Hexed up, excuse me. The Skullbasher's done on that Spear Bear, by the way, so, I mean, he's got a significant amount of farm. Still, you've got a Gyrocopter who is essentially 6-slotted. I mean, he is a Basilius cell away from another item, and that item being pretty significant on top of that, so Ewo's doing exactly what he needs to do here, and he's just going to go ahead and just go right uphill, running into the entire core of Typical Mistakes, who decide not to turn on him, luckily. And there goes the Ice Path once again, and Smash looking to maybe initiate. The Blade Fury's going to go. The Unstable Concoction flying there, but the Hex going. The Fisher as well. Macro Pyre, Misco going to throw up his enchant, and he's going to pick up a kill. Double kill for Ewo there with his flat cannon, just doing so much damage, and he immediately takes that bear down as well. Phantom Soyon might be next. Cake's taking damage from those illusions. You can see them going to town. Juggernaut grabbing a kill on the Visage on the backside, but nah, you know at what cost? He's going to go down a triple kill. That's the cost. Ewo maybe looking for an ultra kill. There comes the call down as well. Phantom Soyon's going to go down. That one's going to go for a bounty hunter. Cakes. There's Misco coming in with a big Echo Slam, and of course, the ultra kill going for Ewo. And that is GG, ladies and gentlemen. Denial in the end, slow playing it till, of course, the very end of the game. It doesn't matter. They're going to head up to game number 4. Still a 2-1 lead for Typical Mistakes, but a sign of life coming out from the side of Denial Esports.
Yo soy Ewocopter, and I don't think we'll see another Gyrocopter in however long this series ends up being, because that was devastating for Typical Mistakes. This was a full game victory for Denial. They looked solid from the get-go and were able to just take it right through. It took them a little bit longer than maybe they would have expected, having a 19-minute MKB, but I mean, now they've got a lot of confidence going into the next game. I expect first ban Gyrocopter from Typical Mistakes. Don't give them to him twice. We talked about the wiggle room. This was it. They wiggled. It didn't quite work out. They have one more game, and then things get really real.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree with you 100%. Typical Mistakes, you got to rebound here, and they've got time to do so. We saw it in the previous game. With Sizzle going, I believe it was like 11-0-9, something along those lines. Gyrocopter with a stat line of 10-0-7 with a GPM of 756, above 700 for the third game in a row, this time on the side of Ewo and Denial. So that's going to be it for game number 3. Game number 4 coming up in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Check out AmericanDotaLeague.com for more American Dota League information, including statistics, standings, all that jazz. Make sure you purchase up a ticket if you enjoy the tournament. We would love you doing that. $5, of course, for that ticket. For all of you that are watching in-game, really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mont. You can follow me at twitter.com/MontDota2. You can follow my co-caster, my good friend of mine, NYJohn, at twitter.com/NYJohnTV. Of course, throw up in chat any sort of criticism or feedback you'd like. And John, any thoughts before we head out of here?
No, I'm just excited for Game 4. I think this series really got some livelihood from Denial there, and I think we're going to see another good game coming up next time around. We'll see if Denial can man up and keep the series alive, or if Typical Mistakes can play closer and actually advance on. These are big games for TM now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have to see how, of course, this series does end up. We'll be back in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around.